All right, let's talk more about this. And I have live in the studio the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Lagos State. He has agreed for me to call him Mr. Okpe. Mr. Okpe George, thank you so much. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Tolu. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. First, we heard the governor there focus on the people, particularly subsidy removal and all. But let's do an overview of this 2.246 trillion. It's huge. Well, let's do an overview of this figure.
Okay, thank you, Tolu. So, in Lagos, we pride ourselves on being the model megacity of Africa. So, for us to be able to keep up to that, poverty eradication and ensuring that we can sort of ensure that we continuously improve on our infrastructure are key. So, the 2024 budget, the budget of renewal, is aimed at doing this, is aimed at also continuing the existing projects, and completing existing projects, and also ensuring we can ramp up and continue to sort of keep at pace with our development and what it is we're trying to achieve. So you find that the budget is looking at being able to sort of complete existing projects, the Okpebi-Mende link bridge, being able to sort of continuously drive for us to be able to complete on the Massey Street Hospital, the Lekki-Ekpe, third phase of the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway from Awoyaya to Ibrahim Adesoya, and things like that. The budget is also focused heavily on social protection and ensuring that we can continuously, as Mr. Governor mentioned earlier, cushion the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy and all whatnot for our people. So it is huge, but it's a project that we're quite happy with, and we're quite sure would deliver dividends for our people.
A recurrent of 1.02 trillion, that's 45% of the total spending plan, and 55% for capital expenditure. Let's talk more about some notable projects that we should expect here.
Okay, so when we talk about, I like to sort of help and talk about it more in impact. So when we talk about the capital, for instance, what that would translate to is we look at things like our Blue Line. We look at the developments of our Blue Line. We've gone from 12 trips when it was launched to 52 trips now.
Wow.
We're looking at ramping up to 70 trips by next year. We're looking at the completion of the Red Line. We're at 96% stage where we're almost complete, so that helps. We're also looking at the fact that this translates to over 10,000 teachers that have been recruited, over 1,000 classrooms that have been built, over 320 public libraries that have been digitalized. So when we look at these figures, I always like as much as possible to explain the impact so people can see and feel what it is there, as opposed to the numbers, because we can talk about numbers all day, but the key is to ensure that people can see the dividends of what they're getting, in the infrastructure. In the ferries, we've gone from 6 to 21. We're adding a further 10 ferries onto the stock. We're currently moving, I believe, close to about 1.8 million passengers a month on the water. So these are all achievements that we need to sort of let the people know, and there's more to come. We're looking at building the mental facility in K2 Ejeri, 1,000 bed, that's developing, all the redevelopments of all the hospitals that are currently going on. So this capital expenditure, those are what, this is about. And we find that, we're responsible, and we ensure that with the capital expenditure, we can sort of pay attention to it, to know that we're within our sustainability levels, to ensure that we don't also, one of the things we're proud of is that, we're always currently at 100% of our debt repayment. So 2023 as well, we're still there. We'd ensure that we continuously keep that. So we're credit-ready, credit-worthy government, and we ensure that for us to be able to attract the right sort of investments, we have to keep credit-worthiness. We're currently ranked the same in terms of the credit rating with the sovereign. So, it's something we're very proud of.
Interesting stuff. When you talk IGR, many would say Lagos, because many believe that, yes, Lagos is doing well when it comes to IGR. And of course, the federal government allocation still comes one way or the other. It's still going to shock it. You add to whatever you make in-house. But my question really would be, how is Lagos, or how do you plan to, make it easier for people to pay taxes, generate more IGR seamlessly, ultimately, improving the revenue base of the state? What are you thinking along that line?
We have work to do. We have work we're doing. So technology plays a key factor in it. So we're finding as much as possible that we're automating a lot of our systems. We're ensuring that we're making it easier for people to be able to go one-stop shops where they can go. They can sort of pay for their services and get the services. So we have an EGIS system we're currently trying to deploy now, which would help us in terms of being able to understand the mapping of our state and where everything is in terms of our land use. And so we have a lot of systems we're putting in place for technology. In terms of the IGR, we also know that we can optimize a lot better. So, we can use our assets a lot better. We're looking at how we can securitize a lot of our assets and get a lot more out of what we have. We're looking at for how with this budget we can help MDAs to ensure that, they can generate a lot more, in terms of being able to sort of generate revenue. So we're supporting the MDAs to ensure that, they can also, have what it takes to be able to generate revenue. So once people sort of pay for a service, they get a service, and we make it easier for people to be able to sort of get that service from government. So technology and also helping ramp up the abilities of MDAs to sort of do business.
I recall that before this budget, there was a meeting put together by your ministry to get views of people all around the state then. I think TVC covered all of that.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, take you to that. Are you putting all of this into consideration?
Yeah, we are. One of the things I must say is that, we have very knowledgeable people in the state, so, accountability is key. So we find that we've gone out, we've had these consultative forums, we've asked our people what they want to hear. We've had to put them in the budget. So every year when we go back, they take us up and they ask us. So we have to ensure that if we don't do it, we'll go back. When we get back next year, they're going to ask us this question. So we take what they've given to us and we put it in. Obviously, we can't put everything in, but we ensure that we can at least take one thing or two things from all the Ibile divisions and slot it in. So when we go back next year, we can say, this is what you asked for, this is where we are, and give a report of what we've done so far.
That really is a good one. Then, according to the governor, deficit financing shall consist of external and internal loans and bonds. My question really would be, do you think the state is staying within its fiscal sustainability parameters?
I think we are, and I think the way to judge it is that our credit rating is stable. We're rated the same as the sovereign. So you'd find that if you go above or past your sustainability levels, you would not be able to get the financing you require. So we're well within our levels. So and we're a responsible government, and we know that we need to stay within our levels for us because there are a lot of things we're trying to do as a state. We recently just incorporated the Lagos International Financial Center, where we want Lagos to be a financial hub. In talking to various countries and making Lagos a financial hub, you have to ensure that you're well within your parameters, you're well within your financial fiscal discipline. If not, it makes nonsense of the whole thing. So that is something that we're very, very, very key on. We pay a lot of attention to ensure that we're well within, and we're always well within our sustainability levels so far.
That's a good one. Lagosians will be expecting a lot, of course, from this spending plan. Particularly, we said at the start, fuel subsidy removal and the impact of other economic issues. Inflation is so much on the high side, 27.3% thereabout. So let's go again to what they should expect from the Lagos State government.
Okay, so we've tried as much as possible to ensure that we've ramped up our social protection. So I believe in this budget we've proposed about a 50 billion for social protection. So to ensure that we can sort of cover all aspects of the economy for our citizens. So, we're looking to ensure that skill acquisition is there. We're investing a lot in human capacity development to ensure that, we can look after our people, we can train our people, we can cater for our people, So there's a lot being put in there. So whilst we continuously push on the infrastructure development and all the things that are important for economic growth, we also have to ensure that we also remember that we can continuously have social protection as key, because it is the removal of subsidy and all what has knock-on effects. So to ensure that we have the right sort of last mile transportation, to ensure that the cost of transportation is at a level that is sustainable for our citizens to be able to afford, and all those sort of things that we've put in mind. So we are very, very mindful of social protection.
As seamless as it may look, there will be one or two challenges too that you, as a government. So what are you expecting also from the people?
I think for us, the people, we know that we're always held accountable. So we also, what I would say is to ensure that maybe they give us a bit of, you would see the results, give us the time, and let's see. So we've, as I said, on the train lines, we've moved, we're ramping up the trips. The train is working now, so people can see it. So just to ensure that, as we go ahead, whatever we say we will do, ensure that we can get a lot more buses on the roads, ensure that we can get a lot more feeder last mile transportation systems into the place, and ensure that we can integrate our transport system. We have the carry card now we're using now, which makes it seamless for you to be able to sort of go and tap and get on so you can get on the train. It's on the buses now. We're trying to incorporate it into the waterways. So you have a full multimodal transport system that makes it easy for our citizens to go from point A to point B seamlessly, and just try as much as possible to ensure and make sure we have a seamless living environment and make things easy for our people.
Implementation is also key, or budget implementation. You want to talk about that? What level are we with implementation?
No, we're usually quite good at our implementation. So as of September this year, we're close to 80% in terms of our budget performance. So, I believe that towards the end of the year, we would ramp up to close to 90. So, I think in terms of our implementation, we are usually quite good, and we have a good discipline in terms of our fiscal discipline. So we ensure that we always keep to track, and implementation is very key. Mr. Governor pushes us hard on ensuring that we make sure we sort of stick to our levels and we implement the budget at the right pace.
Interesting stuff there. A lot about this document, Mr. Moshokpefolu George, the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Lagos. Thank you so much for bringing insight into this. But finally, I would still ask you, what more would you tell Lagosians to expect from Lagos State government? The themes agenda, everyone is following up with that agenda. So where are we going to be moving forward?
Okay, so now it's now Themes Plus. So
it's Themes Plus now.
Plus. So we've added.
That's an update.
We've added to it. So Mr. Governor has added social inclusion, youth empowerment, and gender equality as well into it. So it's a case of no one is left behind now. So everyone is being carried along. And I think with the tagline "Budget of Renewal" is something that I'm quite optimistic about, and it gives us hope to ensure that we indeed can at least have renewal and have a good 2024.
Thank you so much again for your time, Mr. Okpe. George, let me get a handshake.
Thank
I wish you all the best.
I wish you a Merry Christmas.
All right, you too.
Thank you very much.
Right,
Thank you.